Get up, push to it. Come on. Deep breath. Come on, baby. You got it. Finish strong. All the way in the center. You got 5 more. Dig. You got 4 more. You're almost there, kid. You got 3 more. Yes, last 2. Perfect. 1 more. And down.
Chrisean Rock just flipped the internet upside down. And this time it didn't even take a fight. 1 second she's set to go live with Ryan Garcia, boxing's golden boy, the human highlight reel, the guy whose left hook has its own fan base. Next second, the stream is gone, vanished, like it never existed. No explanation. No will reschedule. Just pure silence, the kind that makes blogs panic and group chats start acting like FBI task forces. And right when everyone's asking, what the hell happened? Chrisean drops a casual nuclear bomb. She says she has a boxing coach now. Not joking. Not playing. A boxing coach. Let that sink in. You don't cancel a stream with a professional fighter and then immediately announce your training unless something went sideways. That's not a coincidence. That's a pivot with attitude. Suddenly, this isn't about a live stream anymore. It's about what we didn't see. What was said off camera? What made this go from content collab to gloves on? Because this move right here, it feels less like a cancellation and more like the opening bell to something way bigger. The internet didn't just wake up confused that day, it woke up betrayed. Because a live stream with Ryan Garcia doesn't just get canceled quietly. That's not a missed Zoom call. That's an event people had circled mentally, waiting to see how two completely different worlds were about to collide. Chrisean Rock announcing a stream with a world-famous boxer already felt like a social experiment gone wrong. Fans didn't know whether to expect jokes, chaos, flirting, beef, or something that would get clipped and replayed for years. But everyone knew one thing for sure. It was going to be messy. Ryan Garcia doesn't just represent boxing. He represents discipline, structure, image control, and corporate comfort. Every appearance is calculated. Every move is watched. Chrisean Rock is the opposite of calculated. She is impulse. She is unpredictability with a microphone. She is the kind of person who turns a casual sentence into a headline without trying. So when those two names appeared together, the internet leaned forward. People knew something had to give. Then the stream disappeared. No countdown hit 0. No technical difficulty screen popped up. No apology tweet followed. It was just gone. And when something that big vanishes without explanation, the silence becomes the story. At first, fans tried to be reasonable. They said maybe the Wi-Fi failed. Maybe scheduling issues came up. Maybe it was a last-minute conflict. But reason doesn't survive long on the internet. Within hours, theories started stacking on top of each other like conspiracy Jenga. People started whispering about PR teams stepping in. Others claimed someone said something wild off camera. Some insisted the stream was never meant to happen in the first place. Then Chrisean spoke. Not with a long explanation. Not with a clarification. Not even with a hint apology. She casually revealed she now has a boxing coach. No context. No timeline. No explanation. Just dropped it like it was normal. That's when confusion turned into suspicion. Because canceling a stream with a boxer and then announcing boxing training isn't neutral. It's loaded. It feels intentional, even if it wasn't planned that way. Suddenly, people stopped asking why was the stream canceled and started asking what happened that pushed her here. That shift matters because this wasn't just content anymore. This was positioning. Chrisean didn't frame herself as someone who backed out. She framed herself as someone who leveled up. And whether that was on purpose or pure instinct, it worked. Fans immediately split into camps. One side said she was trolling. Another said she was serious. A third group said this was the start of a celebrity boxing arc that nobody saw coming. But everyone agreed on one thing. This wasn't random. Ryan Garcia's silence didn't help. No clarification from his side, no denial. No, it was just scheduling. And when one side stays quiet while the other shifts the narrative, the internet decides who looks powerful. The blogs ran with it. Comment sections turned into debates. People analyzed every past clip of Chrisean like it was evidence in a courtroom. Was she always aggressive? Was this always where things were heading? Or did something specific happen with that canceled stream? Nobody had answers, and that uncertainty kept the story alive. What made it even more intense was how casual Chrisean seemed about it all. No defensive tone, no damage control, just confidence. Confidence scares people more than chaos, because chaos can be dismissed as noise. Confidence suggests intention. Now, instead of being the girl who canceled a stream, Chrisean became the girl who made boxing fans nervous. Not because she's a threat in the ring, but because she refuses to stay in the box people assign her. And that's where the tension really started. Because once someone crosses into a new space, even jokingly, expectations follow. I stay locked. Mistakes get magnified. This wasn't just about boxing anymore. It was about image, control, and who gets to decide what Chrisean Rock is allowed to do next. And with that single sentence about a boxing coach, she took control of the narrative. Once the words boxing coach hit the timeline, the internet didn't just react. It overreacted professionally. Memes exploded like fireworks on a holiday nobody planned for. People edited Chrisean into championship posters, fake pay-per-view promos, and Rocky-style montages with dramatic music she never asked for. Somebody even put her face on vintage boxing cards like she was already undefeated. And at first it was funny, laughable, internet nonsense. But then something strange happened. People stopped laughing and started arguing, because jokes don't cause debates unless there's fear hiding underneath them. And suddenly, this situation felt less like a joke and more like a provocation. Boxing fans showed up confused and defensive. Reality TV fans showed up entertained and loud. And social media did what it always does: it mashed those worlds together and waited for sparks. Some people said this was disrespectful to the sport. Others said boxing has hosted worse celebrities than this and survived just fine. A few bold voices said Chrisean fits celebrity boxing culture better than anyone wants to admit. That's when the tone shifted. This stopped being about whether she was serious. It became about whether she was allowed. And that's a dangerous conversation, because nothing fuels virality like telling someone they don't belong somewhere. Every clip of Chrisean after that moment was treated differently. Her energy was labeled aggressive, her confidence was labeled delusional, her silence was labeled strategic. No matter what she did, it fed the story. Influencers jumped in for clout. Some laughed it off. Some criticized her. Some pretended to analyze boxing technique like they'd ever worn gloves in their life. And still no clarification. No official explanation. No statement. No "let me clear the air," which made people even louder. The canceled stream started feeling less like a mistake and more like a moment that slipped out of control. People speculated about private conversations, about teams stepping in, about someone pulling the plug before things got too unpredictable. And the wildest part, nobody could prove anything, which made everything believable. Because when a story has no clear villain and no clear truth, the audience fills in the blanks with whatever version entertains them most. Some painted Chrisean as reckless. Others painted her as bold. Some said she embarrassed boxing culture. Others said boxing culture was just uncomfortable being challenged. And every version of the story went viral. The memes turned sharper. The jokes turned meaner. The curiosity turned obsessive. People weren't asking, "Is she boxing?" anymore. They were asking, what happens if she keeps going? That's when comparisons started flying. People compared it to celebrity boxing disasters. Others compared it to reality stars accidentally becoming legitimate fighters. Someone even said this whole thing felt like a Netflix series teaser that dropped without permission. And honestly, that wasn't far off, because this had all the ingredients. Unexpected crossover, sudden cancellation, mystery, ego, silence. That's not a rumor. That's a storyline. And the longer nobody shut it down, the bigger it grew. What really pushed it over the edge was how natural the chaos felt. Like this wasn't planned. But it was destined because Chrisean doesn't tiptoe into moments. She collides with them, and whether this turns into training footage, a celebrity fight offer, or just another chapter of internet madness, one thing became obvious during this phase: the audience is locked in. People want resolution. They want answers. They want to know if this was a bluff, a build-up, or the beginning of something nobody expected, and the worst thing you can do to a curious internet. By this point, the situation had already crossed the point of no return. Whether Chrisean Rock ever throws a real punch in a real ring almost doesn't matter anymore. The damage and the momentum were already done, because once the internet decides you're in a new era, there's no going back to the old version of you. Chrisean wasn't just being talked about as a reality personality anymore. She was being framed as someone stepping into combat culture. And that changes how people judge everything you do. Suddenly, her confidence wasn't funny, it was cocky. Her energy wasn't entertaining, it was threatening. That's the price of shifting lanes publicly. At the same time, her supporters doubled down harder than ever. They framed this as growth, as focus, as someone channeling chaos into discipline. They said she wasn't running from anything, she was running towards something. And whether that something is boxing, attention, or reinvention didn't even matter to them. Ryan Garcia staying quiet became its own storyline. In the absence of words, his silence was interpreted as control, fear, strategy, or indifference depending on who you asked. And the truth: silence online never belongs to the person who stays quiet. It belongs to the crowd. And the crowd had already chosen chaos. Every time Ryan posted something unrelated, comments flooded in asking about Chrisean. Every time Chrisean posted anything at all, people scanned it for boxing clues like it was a coded message. The canceled stream became the moment everyone pointed back to. The fork in the road. The thing that changed everything. And that's how legends and disasters are born online. Not from what happens, but from what doesn't. Brands notice this kind of attention. Promoters notice it too, because controversy doesn't scare them. Unpredictability excites them. And now Chrisean sits in a dangerous position. Not weak, not powerful. But watch. If she keeps training, expectations rise. If she stops, critics call it fake. If she jokes about it, people say she disrespected the sport. If she takes it seriously, people say she's chasing clout. There's no safe move anymore. And that's the aftermath nobody talks about once you hint at reinvention publicly. The internet demands proof. This situation didn't just affect how people see Chrisean. It affected how they listen to her, how they frame her choices, how they anticipate her next move. She turned a canceled stream into a narrative shift. And narrative shifts don't reverse easily. The most uncomfortable truth in all of this is simple. The audience doesn't care whether this was planned or accidental. They care that it's interesting. And right now, it is, because the story isn't about boxing anymore. It's about control, about who gets to define someone's limits, about whether chaos can be sharpened into discipline or if it always burns out. And Chrisean Rock, whether she likes it or not, is standing in the middle of that question. No official statements have closed this chapter. No explanations have calmed the speculation. No confirmation has arrived to end the guessing, which means the door is still open. And in internet culture, an open door is an invitation. An invitation for more clips, more rumors, more reactions, more escalation. Because canceled streams fade, but unresolved moments grow teeth. Now before you click away acting like this didn't just scramble your timeline, do me a favor and be honest with yourself. If this story made you pause, laugh, side-eye your screen, or say nah, this is crazy, then you're already invested. So smash that like button like it personally canceled the stream on you. Hit subscribe like you're training for the algorithm Olympics. And turn on notifications, because the mess does not come with a warning label around here. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I already know they're wild. Was this a power move or pure chaos? Is Chrisean actually leveling up? Or is this just the loudest pivot the internet has seen all year? And most importantly, Do you think this story is over? Or are we just getting warmed up? Scroll through the comments and argue respectfully or don't. This is the internet. We both know why you're really here. Because scandals don't slow down. They multiply. And every time you blink, another innocent livestream turns into a full-blown headline meltdown. This channel breaks it down when the blogs get quiet, when the PR statements disappear, and when the silence gets louder than the noise. If it's messy, controversial, confusing, or makes absolutely no sense, trust me, we're already watching it. So stay locked in, stay curious, and remember, in this world, streams get canceled, but chaos always goes live. Welcome back to Celeb Insanity, where the drama never misses weight, and the next punch is always loading.